17 years ago, I was contacted by the local government to save this meadow. They have found some really rare species here on an old agricultural area, but the area was completely overgrown with forest. I was 28 by then, I had my company, but no team, no equipment. The challenge was for me really huge, and of course I said yes. And the reason the local government wanted us to save this meadow is that their biologists found 3 key species that is really rare. It is slåtterblomma, lobstar and brudsporre. And all these 3 indicates a long history of grazing land or meadow. And of course, these 3 species is just like the top of a mountain of a huge amount of plant species and insect species that really thrive here, which you really see when you dive down. It's a huge biodiversity. And to save these species, the forest needs to be removed, and we need to start to maintain this as a meadow again. So the first year we came here with a small team I collected, the grass was really high and there was a massive amount of stumps, many of them still alive, shooting small twigs. So it was like a jungle to go through. And the reason why the grass is so high the first year is that when cutting down the trees, the roots will fertilize the soil. So the grass is benefiting from that. And it was my first really big area to mow in the company. And it was like a real struggle. We were inexperienced. We had this old grinding scythes, and I need to like cycle away every evening to go to a big round whetstone to grind all the scythes, while the other part of the team had a nice dinner here and they walked to the lake and had a swim, and I was only standing there grinding and grinding. So it was a challenge the first years. And by then, this was our one and only big mission, so we had like all the summer to do this. So usually we spent maybe 3 weeks here. I really enjoyed this working hard with the body, but it was a real struggle. We worked hard, but also lived a nice camp life, like campfires, swimming in the lake every day, making small excursions once in a while, discovering the surroundings here. And this meadow, Måla Ängen, is our second largest meadow that we mow. It's 2.4 hectares, and it's so fun to work on because it contains so much different areas. Up here we have these old fields that is so smooth to mow with a lot of flowers, and the soil is really flat. There we use the long blades. And here we have the more bumpy area that is really tricky. And then we have the dry hills. Behind them we have a really stony area. Super technical. We have the creek that flows through the middle, and this like marshy, wet areas around that is nowadays really soft and fine to mow. And over there we have also old fields with really nice meadow flowers now that is really flat and nice as well. So it's a really nice mixture and a fantastic place to have the base camp on. And when we maintain the meadows, we are not just mowing everything, but we are saving small patches for extra biodiversity. It can be patches with a lot of flowers for gaining the insects, and it can be patches like this over here where it's really dry this year and it's not really worth to mow. And then we can make more effort on just remove more saplings and trees, and within those areas we don't mow with a scythe, we maybe just go with a blade, hoe or axe and just remove the saplings. So it will be a little bit different from year to year, and we save different patches over the years, so it's like rotation. I remember the first years we came here and this area was just high like this with the broad-leafed grass and a lot of stumps and saplings. And now I just noticed that the very rare lobstar have spread also to this area. At first it was only on a small open patch on the other side of the creek. It looks a little bit like a rooftop of a Chinese house. And it's really hard to discover among all the other grass and carex species down here. But once you see one, you always discover more. And the lobster stands here in the enormous biodiversity among, for example, a fryle, some kind of veketåg. I think this is hundstarr, this is darrgräs, this is stagg, this is stjärnstarr, and I think this is grönstarr. Our second year, my first son was born right in the middle of the mowing period. So we took a small vacation at home, and after 4 days we came back here. So actually he have one period of his life when he have spent more nights in tent than in a house. Now I have 2 sons, and both of them have been here every year since they were born. This is like their summer house. And nowadays, when they are 16 and 13, they are a really strong part of the team. When we study old historical maps, we can see that this spot has been used as a meadow or pasture land for centuries, and that explains the big diversity of plants here. And as far as into 1960, we can see from aerial photos that this place is still open and used as grazing land. Today all this meadow is fenced, and that's by 2 purposes. One is to keep the wild boars away from here. Like year number 9 we were here, they have like ruined everything, so it was stones and soil everywhere. The second purpose is that we can let the cows in here after we have mowed the grass and removed it as hay. And that's also good for the biodiversity, as they are, when they walk around they push the seeds into the ground, and they also graze a little bit extra here. Bra. Var det öppnar upp. Ja, det är bra. Through the middle of the meadow flows a really nice creek here, but it quickly gets overgrown with a lot of bushes and trees like elders and willows. So we need to clear it up piece by piece, year by year. And we do this by, for example, ring bark the bigger trees, this elder for example. And the advantage with ring barking is that it will not sprout so many saplings and new branches from beneath that it had done if we just cut it with a saw directly. And we also get some nice firewood after 5 years when it's completely dead. The smaller trees we just get rid of with the roots, with an axe or a blade hoe. Here we plan to save this ash tree, for example, and cut it a couple of meters above to make it like a pruned tree, and try to get rid of all the elder trees, like for a distance here. Another smart thing we do when maintaining the meadow and keep it open is to pile up all the branches we create from the pruning and removing the saplings on top of a problematic bush, and then we burn them, and then we get rid of the branches and we get rid of the problematic bushes like around stones and so. And over the last 17 years, a lot have happened on this meadow. For example, the vegetation have been really much lower as the fertilizing from the roots is now not existent anymore. The species, the diversity have increased. And I can't really remember which year I kicked away the last stump, but it was some years ago really. Because the first year was so annoying with the stumps. You come with the scythe and then get stuck on a stump, and there was thousands of them. And now it's so satisfying that they are not existing anymore. Another thing that has improved over the years is our equipment. For example, we now use peening scythes and the peening jig, so it's so easy for everyone just to maintain their own scythe, and I don't need to collect all the scythes and cycle away to the grinding stone. And also, like, the team is really much more tight. It comes new persons every year, and some leave the team. And our base camp also have, and there is new inventions every year in the base camp. This year we have the optimal bean stump. Nowadays, this meadow is just one in a row of meadows and base camps. We annually mow about 45 hectares, and this is 2.4. But from the beginning, it was really the one and only. And for that reason, it has a special place in my heart, and it's always so fun to come here each year, building up the base camp, see what happened on the meadow, which plants are here, which are not. And each year we come here and build up the base camp. I'm so happy to see all the biodiversity and really proud that it's my team that have done it over the years.